Rashad Richey, he's created his own university. It's called St. Magnus University, and it's LOCO.
Rashad Richey is a popular TV or YouTube host and radio talk show host, and he has been claiming all sorts of fraudulent fake degrees that are just aren't accredited. And he's been making an effort to get more and more of those degrees. Like, he just needs it. He just needs these degrees for whatever reason. And I guess he's gotten to the point where he's bought so many degrees that finally he's thought that he needs to get in on the game. So Saint Magnus, it's named after a obscure Catholic saint. Rashad Richey, who is not Catholic, has founded a Catholic university. But how is it accredited? Well, Rashad tells us it's under the Florida Statute 1005.061F. It says approved degree granting university. So here we have Florida Statute 1005.061F, and it deals with religious institutions that are exempt from the commission's jurisdiction. So how is Rashad Richey's St. Magnus University an approved degree granting institution? Well, it's exempt from any regulation under the purview of the Florida Department of Education. So here we have the degree programs: Bachelor of Science, Ethereal Physics, is that how you pronounce that? Bachelor of Arts, Psychology of Faith. So all of these are in the same line, must have some type of religious modifier. Bachelor of Science, Business Management Concentration, Faith-Centric Operations. Bachelor of Arts, Divinity. Let's scroll down a bit further. So these are the names of the degrees. St. Magnus University is free to give you any degree they want because they will be exempt from any regulation in Florida.
It says
Yeah.
here all PhD programs follow the United Kingdom higher education model because if you have a university in Florida, that's what you want to do. And our
Naturally.
research and our research-based terminal degrees. The subject and scope of research must be agreed upon by the supervising professor. That's going to be Rashad for the most part, based on the amount of money that you give him, and the institutional review board, the IRB. Before proceeding, they have an IRB. Oh yeah. Oh,
That's
I bet.
ridiculous. Yeah, this is, I mean, they don't, to set up an IRB is very expensive. It's generally the domain of, established research universities because it costs so much money and is so incredibly involved. And I can guarantee you St. Magnus University does not have an IRB.
No, and the qualifications to serve on an IRB are pretty strict.
So the IRB, I think, they are regulated by the Federal Department of Health and Human Services.
Yeah.
So let's see, how much does Rashad charge for these degrees? Because, education shouldn't be the domain of the expensive research universities. Anybody can get a degree for, wait, PhD by research, 180 times 120. I think that's $21,000. So for $21,000, you can get an affordable PhD from Rashad Richey's Catholic St. Magnus University. I mean, these degrees are not accredited by anyone.
No.
And but let's go to the accreditation and see what they do claim about that. So these are the accreditations that he claims. So he claims, approval by the Florida Department of Education, approval that he's exempt from any regulations. And then the Paris Graduate School. Wait, he's a professor at the Paris Graduate School in France,
Mhm.
supposedly in France. I doubt he's ever set foot in France.
He claims to be the chair of the what's the name of that department? Science and
Department of Science. Yeah, he's the dean of the Department of Science, and also a PhD student in the Department of Science that he founded.
right. So he basically runs a department for which he is a student. And
Yeah.
this department has one member, Rashad Richey.
So, and if we read this very interesting bit here, we see that the Paris Graduate School will issue a degree for the work done at St. Magnus University. So they will issue an equivalent degree So you do your work at St. Magnus, you get a Paris graduate school degree. And this is how this scam is run, by the way. You're enrolled in St. Magnus University, you pay you $21,000. Then for some nominal work, you'll get a degree from the Paris Graduate School. And then if you scroll further down, how is that relevant? Why would you want that? If you scroll further down, you'll see that, oh, the California University FCE. So then the California University FCE stands for Foreign Credential Evaluation. So it needs to be a foreign degree that's evaluated. That's why you get a degree from the Paris Graduate School. Then the California University FCE comes in and evaluates your Paris Graduate School degree that you got from St. Magnus and says, oh, wow, this foreign degree is equivalent to a US university degree. And that's how this scam is run. And that's how you can claim to have a valuable degree of some sort by attending St. Magnus University. Of course, this is a scam, and this is the scam for the gullible, for people from India that really want an American-based degree from an American university, that are desperate for the recognition from a degree from a university in a first world country. So we have this St. Magnus University. This is clearly a scam. This is a predatory university that issues worthless degrees that Rashad then tries to, claim that they're worth something through some other scam. Anyway, predatory university, expensive, worthless degrees. But who's involved in all this?
Okay, so we're back at the landing page. Let's scroll down. Who are these people?
Who are these people? Dr. Nemaya Plant, DPA. That's a doctorate of
Public
what is it?
administration?
Yeah, public administration. Hey, that
Yeah.
sounds good. Dr. Namaya Plant, okay, she is apparently the university president. Now, if you look at Dr. Namaya Plant's own personal website, you'll find out that she doesn't have a doctorate. This DPA, she's in the process of getting a DPA from
Oh, so
Liberty
she's a
University.
DBA?
She doesn't have a doctorate currently.
Okay, this is a personal pet peeve of mine. If you have DBA, you don't have a doctorate.
It's not all but defended at all. She just doesn't have, and she's supposed to defend get her degree in December. So that's not even close.
No.
So yet she's claiming a fake doctorate. This is a fake doctorate. Hey, there's a theme that we know. So she's actually a full-time Department of Defense employee, and supposedly a university president. She's 24 years old. So okay, she has no experience in public administration. She has that degree that she's working on. And then who else is involved? Erica Wilson. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Chancellor Erica Wilson. Now Erica Wilson
Chancellor.
is that's Rashad's lawyer. That's
Right.
uh that's the lady who opened a law firm with Rashad Richey, supposedly based in Washington
That's
D.C.
the fairness firm.
The Fairness Firm. Yeah, she's the CEO of the Fairness Firm. Again, absolutely no experience in public administration, and so she's the chancellor for this. And then who else do we have?
Oh God. Praise
It's
Jackson.
it's Praise D. Jackson. It's another one of Rashad's cronies. And what does she do? She's a marketing lady. Absolutely no experience in public administration.
Yeah, I went
Now,
through her LinkedIn page and she had like 24 career skills, none of them even within the same zip code. What she's claiming here, like student affairs, the university registrar. Like,
so these
why
are
would
just
you hire a marketing person for that?
So these are just Rashad Richey's friends. I think
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
main theme of the people employed at this university is that they are loyal to Rashad Richey and not that they have any skills whatsoever in running a university. But let's go to the departments page. And here we have a few more surprising faces.
Well,
Um,
one's not so surprising.
One's not surprising, of course. Rashad Richey is the director of the Institute of Applied Innovative Physics Quantum Therapy Medicine Program. So what some hokey thing where he can claim to be a quantum physicist, which he's very much not. But then also, I'm noticing the Department of Legal Studies is headed by Cassandra Kirk. If you look her up, she is the chief judge of the Fulton County Magistrate Court. what is she doing in this scam, and why is she involved in a predatory university at all? She's in an elected position. This may not put her in the best light.
Does this not also raise ethical questions? This is a sham. They're not offering for the money anything of quality. I mean, it's
And
not even close.
the question is, legal studies of what? This is a religious university, a Catholic religious university, and she's the department. There's a whole department of legal studies. What are
Mhm.
they studying? That's the question. I think this is just part of a scam. They want to make prospective students believe that this is, there's a legal, they get a legal degree that's worth anything when it's not. When it's a unregulated religious degree that doesn't hold any value at all.
Yeah.
And let's scroll down further. This is very funny. So this religious school also, of course, has a department of religious studies, but they're still hiring for the position
Now, wait a minute. How long has this been in operation?
since September 2023.
You would think that would be like the first person you would hire.
Yeah, or you would only get the idea of starting a religious school because you're in direct touch with some type of minister, or Catholic bishop or something.
Who in here believes that when a student signs up and they get these courses, that these people are going to open up their classrooms and assign, develop lesson plans and send out exams and grade exams and stuff like that? I mean, seriously?
They don't have time for that. These aren't full-time positions. So how do we know this is Rashad Richey's business? Um, I mean, after all, Nehemiah Plant is named as the university president, and but if we look up at the Florida business entity search, we look at St. Magnus University, then we see that this is filed with a registered agent, okay, in St. Petersburg, Florida. All right, that sounds good. And then who is the president? So when you register a nonprofit in Florida, you have to name a president, vice president, secretary, at least three people. Rashad Richey is the president. Okay, so he's actually the president of the university. And then who's vice president? And in Florida, and this is legit, you can name a corporation into these positions. And we have INSA Community Education Solutions, LLC, out of Georgia, and OcuPrep Medical Institute, LLC, also out of Georgia. And it turns out, if you look at the Georgia Business Registry, these are corporations that are 100% owned by Rashad Richey. So this is Rashad Richey as president, Rashad Richey as vice president, and Rashad Richey as secretary. He owns 100% of this company.
So he basically bought out OcuPrep. I think maybe at one time it was a real school.
There's a businessman named John Marsh in Atlanta, and he's founded a whole bunch of businesses. One of them was OcuPrep. In 2020, he founded this, and I guess it wasn't doing so well. Somehow, either he sold it or he just gave it to Rashad Richey, because currently it's not registered at the address that it says on here, but it's actually registered at Rashad's personal home address.
Speaking of addresses, I was searching St. Magnus's website and I came across the address and it said 7901 4th Street, St. Petersburg. So when I'm looking up fake universities, one of the things I look for is, I mean, what does the thing look like? Right. And so I went ahead and typed this into Google Maps. If you look at the leaderboard here, or you might call a marquee or whatever signage, there's nothing that mentions anything about any university. But then I recognized, I said, wait a minute, I've seen this building before.
And
And so I
where?
poked around, and I remember European American University.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
And so I looked up and I went down to the contact page, and right here,
They're at the same address.
same address.
So
Now, you know about this university. Why don't you talk a little bit about it?
your American University is founded by John Kersey, this like extremely right-wing British guy who's got, I think he puts Rashad to shame with his, 54 degrees or whatever he's got. And he's founded this university as a way to get people fake university degrees, essentially. This is not accredited. It says on the website, nothing's accredited at all. And he uses this university to get agreements with other universities in third world countries to recognize the degree from this university, or this business entity, and then launder degrees. So this guy has been trying to figure out how to launder degrees and get himself accredited degrees that aren't really accredited for the last 20 years or so.
And I can just picture it now, because European American University and Rashad University are in the same building. I wonder what it must be like. I mean, Rashad walks out of his office and jumps into John Chris. Hey, look who's here, John. How you doing? Well, Rashad, amazing. What a coincidence that we happen
What
to
a
be in the
coincidence.
same building.
So it's kind of clear that Rashad has learned, hey, I can make money with these fake universities. Let's hit up John Kersey and get him to tell me how I do this. And he said, well, you register at this address. There's some phony office there or some rentable business space. And so Rashad's getting in on the predatory university scheme.
And John Kersey is a kind of an interesting cat. He's kind of got some pretty hard right leanings, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. John Kersey is really an interesting guy. So he was part of this Traditional Britain group. So the Traditional Britain group is extremely hard right against any immigration at all, pro-British. The Conservative Party in Britain is far too left-leaning for them.
And there's another connection to the California University FCE.
That's right. Oh yeah. So Rashad seems to have picked up on this California University FCE, this Foreign Credential Evaluator, which the European American University uses to sort of try to legitimize its degrees. It launders the European American University, issues a degree that's worth nothing at all, which they admit on their website, then enter into an agreement with a third world country university that recognizes their degree and issues an equivalent degree. Then the California University FCE comes in and says, oh yes, this is perfectly legit. This foreign degree that you have now is equivalent to an American education.
And they're calling it kind of an accreditation.
So that's the same scheme that Rashad uses with St. Magnus University. The same fraudulent scheme, clearly.
I mean, let's take a look at the California University FCE website just briefly.
Okay.
Okay, so we're looking at the California University FCE, and this looks like your friend's, middle school kid developed his first web page. Right?
Well, it says established since August 2001, and the website's clearly from August 2001.
It's so bad, but let's take a look at affiliated institutions. Oh, the Asia Pacific School of Business. Where have we heard that one before?
Rashad's got 1 or 2 degrees from there, or claims to have them.
And by the way, you look at these names: Yale University, Prowess University. I mean, good God.
There's a whole lot more universities Rashad could get degrees from.
Yeah. Oh, well, he's got one from here, Universidad Empresario de Costa Rica.
The business school of Costa Rica, yeah.
Yeah, this is a school that one time gave out legitimate degrees until 2004, when somebody took off with all the money and they had to turn to crunching out fake degrees to make money.
The interesting part about this is the plethora of fake universities, or like lower quality institutions that give out degrees.
Well, there he is, Rashad Richey. He's got some new irons in the fire. We'll have to keep on top of this. Rashad was hoping that we didn't see it. And
that's the other thing we didn't say. This is Rashad's baby, but he's kept it a secret, and none of his people that are on the website have said anything about having a position at St. Magnus University.
I know Rashad got everybody. Now look, there's a couple of rascals out there that we don't want to get involved in our dealings here. So you can be the president, you can be the vice president or whatever, but let's not tell anybody. And with that, like my video and subscribe to my channel.